Welcome everyone, Gunner here, and we got our college football week 6 preview, and we got a jam-packed one with a lot of games and a lot of recruiting updates. So let's get right into it. Guys, first game we're going to be talking about here is Michigan State versus Oregon Friday night at 6 p.m. on Fox. Spreads at 23.5, started at 24.5. I think Oregon wins here easily. People could say this definitely is a trap game due to the fact that they have Ohio State next, but I think Oregon gets it done here. Next one, Syracuse at my beloved UNLV Rebels. Yes, I do support the UNLV Rebels. If you didn't know, I am born from Las Vegas. So, gotta support the hometown team, regardless if it's really not my true team. Spread started at 4.5. It's at 6.5. Wow, I definitely am surprised. Give me the UNLV Rebels to beat Syracuse Orange and continue to stay undefeated. Next one here, Little Brothers UCLA versus Penn State. 9 a.m. kickoff. Very sucks for them. Yeah, I think Penn State rolls the Bruins and they get ready for the Trojans next week. Mizzou versus A&M. I haven't been a fan of Mizzou so far this year, especially after that Vandy game. So I'm going to take A&M to win and cover this game. SMU versus Louisville. Spread started at 7. It has stayed at 7. I'm going to go with a +7 towards SMU. I know they played FSU last week and FSU got the problems, but I think since the QB changed with SMU, I think they found something. So give me SMU to next one here. This one could be a trap game as well for Ohio State. Iowa versus Ohio State. Spread was at 21.5. It's down to 20. Ohio State plays Oregon next week, but I think Ohio State is just too stout on that defensive side, and they get it done. We got Auburn versus Georgia. Georgia's gonna. I mean, I'm surprised. Spreads at 20. Was at 27. It's down to 24. People think Auburn's gonna do something. I just think they have that roster's so depleted in my opinion, and I mean they're just gonna have a tough year. So hope all these recruits stay with them and whatnot. But yeah, give me Georgia big. All right, Ole Miss versus South Carolina. I think this is a very fascinating and interesting matchup. Spread started at 10. It's down to 9. I mean, I think South Carolina is somewhat similar to Kentucky in terms of like their front seven. I think they can definitely give Ole Miss some issues, especially that young kid Dylan Stewart. He's been killing it. I'll take the +9, but I do think Ole Miss still wins. All right, Indiana versus Northwestern. I think Indiana continues their winning ways, man, and they're going to be 6-0 after this week. All right, Alabama versus Vandy. Spread started at 24.5. It's down to 22.5. Maybe people think that Alabama's going to have a hangover from their big time win against Georgia. I don't think that's the case. I think Bama wins easily. Next one, Clemson versus Florida State. Spread started at 15.5. It's down to 14.5. I think that should go back up. I think Clemson rolls FSU here. There's been some bad blood between these two schools, I guess, dating back to the COVID year and how FSU didn't want to play them or whatnot. Yeah, give me Clemson big. Utah State versus Boise State. Boise State, I think, Ashton Genty is going to continue to run all over these defenses he plays every week. Tennessee versus Arkansas. Spread is at 13. Started at 13.5. Even the total has gone down as well. I think this is definitely going to be a close game. Tennessee is coming off a bye, so I am interested to see how they look coming off a bye. But I think Tennessee still wins this game and stays undefeated. Big game here, which is, I mean, I think it's still surprising. Michigan versus Washington. The spread is 2.5 to Washington. Now I understand Michigan has played all their games so far at home. This is their first road game. I understand they have no passing game, but I mean, no offense, but what does Washington have? Will Rogers, to me, overrated. I think they should be honestly playing the Demond kid, Williams. Could be a little biased since I've seen him live. But, I mean, yeah, give me Michigan to win outright. It's going to be a close game. It's definitely a tough place to play in Washington, in Seattle. But, I mean, Michigan is just a better team. All right, my beloved Trojans going to Minnesota before our big game against Penn State. Could it be a trap game? Could be. Could be. Spread started at 9.5. It's down to 8. If this goes to 7.5 to 7, oh my goodness, you guys better jump on the Trojans. In my opinion, I think we win by 2 scores at least, and I think this is a game where we see a complete 4 quarters. I think we start fast and we finish fast. Baylor versus Iowa State Cyclones. Spread was at 12.5. It's down to 12. I like Iowa State. Their defense is very stout. Has been playing some good ball. Offense is, work in progress, I'd say. But yeah, give me Iowa State to continue their streak. Well, guys, for some reason I wanted to look at the tickets there, but let's move. Next one here, and it's the last one that we're going to be talking about here. We got Miami versus California. We got the woke versus the coke, they say. Spread was at 13.5. It's down to 10. That is it's pretty surprising, to be honest. Give me Miami. I think Miami wins. Cam Ward is familiar with Cal, familiar with the atmosphere, so I think he's going to get those boys ready, and he's just going to continue his Heisman run, in my opinion. So guys, I know we went through that fairly quick. Just really wanted to kind of roll through those. There was a bunch of them, but hey, put those all in a parlay and let me know how much you guys are about to win. But guys, we got some recruiting updates, and we're gonna start with a banger. Deuce Knight commits, or flips, I should say, to Auburn. He was committed to Notre Dame since September of 2023. Auburn's been on Juju Lewis. They've been trying to flip the Texas quarterback. They tried flipping him for a minute. So he's visited them 4 times, and finally he made the decision. So big time get for Auburn. Hopefully he's a quarterback that is going to excel in that offense. I hear they have a QB friendly offense, but still surprises me from time to time. But yeah, big time get for Auburn. So kudos to them. Next one here is Brian Baldwin. DB was a Indiana commit. He has decommitted. There are some rumblings that he could be going to Colorado, so stay tuned with that. We could be talking about him in the next week or so, about him committing to Colorado. Next one here is Jamarion Carlton, 26 edge kid. He has dropped his top 10. As you can see, Ohio State, LSU, Kansas State, Trojans, Ole Miss, Nebraska, Baylor, A&M, Texas Tech, and Texas. We'll stay tuned on what happens, but there's definitely a long road for this kid before he actually officially signs on the dotted line. Next one here, 4-star Malik Clark, wide receiver. He has decommitted from Florida State. I haven't heard much rumbling, so we'll definitely keep you guys updated on his recruitment. But yeah, definitely a loss for Florida State given their start so far in the season. Another one here, he has reclassified. Donovan Murph, wide receiver. He used to be a 26 kid, now a 25 kid. And he's got these these schools and interests. We got Bama, Clemson, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Georgia, Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State. So top of the creme, basically, right, in terms of schools and programs. So hopefully he makes the right decision, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on with Donovan Murph. Another one we're going to be talking about, Antavius Richardson. He's an athlete. He has flipped from Florida. U.S. South Florida, excuse me. So he flips from South Florida to Notre Dame. He wants to be a Fighting Irish. Kudos to him. It's fascinating that they always love to show this Heisman. I don't know when they had the last time they even had a Heisman. I think it was definitely before I was born, in my opinion, but could be missing someone. But yeah, just very fascinating that they still use those. Next one here. Sucks for UCF after the loss against Colorado. 25 kid, Carl Jenkins Jr., wide receiver. He has decommitted UCF. We'll see. I haven't heard much traction on him or whatnot. But yeah, big time loss for UCF. Big time kid here. Hilleman Kusuga? Oh man, I'm saying his whole name wrong, and I truly apologize. He's Utah quarterback, 26 kid. He has made his final 3. He'll be committing on October 16th, so that is 2 weeks from today. So, and it's A&M Trojans and Washington. For basically what we're hearing, he will be an A&M commit. Um, I definitely love this kid from the jump when we first kind of offered him and recruited him. But I think I guess you say I think they're so focused on Juju right now. Obviously, we got Ryder, who's technically a 27 kid, even though he's 26. He's got that mission. So you can make an argument that he could still be a Trojan and fit into this quarterback room. But yeah, hope all the best for the kid, man. He's a talented kid, and he is Jerome Miles's QB. And then lastly, before we head out here, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. 2026 kid, Oscar Rios, California kid from Downey. After Purdue has fired Graham Harrell, he has decommitted from Purdue. This is actually their second decommitment since that announcement. So I expect probably a couple more. You would think, just given the fact that some of these kids love Graham Harrell, right? They're committed to his offense. So yeah, see what happens with this kid. Again, got a whole year and a half to really figure out what school he wants to go to. But guys, that will conclude our preview. Hope you guys enjoyed each of the picks. Hope you guys enjoyed our recruiting updates. Guys, enjoy the rest of your fabulous week as we get closer to the weekend, and can't wait for some more football. Peace.